that we are united. We are part of the
past, and we've still got the balcony moment to come and the surge of the crowd down the Mall, so still lots to look forward to.
Yeah, not long now. We know that the royal family will come out at the appropriate moment as told by the Ministry of Defence. It's all very well organised, as we know. But who comes out? And there was one moment during the service, Laura, where we had King Charles, we had the Prince of Wales, and we had young Prince George there, the page. And it feels like the monarchy's mapped out. We've seen the Mall with the flags of the UK, the United Kingdom and the realms. Who knows what happens with the realms now? But in terms of the legacy of the royal family, it was there today, and the balcony will tell us the shape of this family going forward.
That's what it's all about. It is about continuity. It is seamless. There is no point where we don't have a monarch. There it goes from one to the next, to the next, to the next. And this is a really unusual coronation and ceremony in that we can see the physical embodiment of that. And I was looking at Prince Louis, who is only 6 months older than the King was when he watched his own mother crowned. And he's a grandson. And so it was interesting looking at that dynamic as well, wasn't it? But little George there solemnly kind of carrying the robes and performing that duty. And you wonder, was he thinking, that's me one day, someone will be carrying my robes, it'll be me sat in this very chair.
And you had that sense, did you not, as Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, said to Prince Charles back in 1953, try to remember this day. You feel like that was also happening to Prince Louis and Prince George. Now, moving along through that crowd, one hopes is Sarah Jane Mee as the crowd floods forward. Sarah Jane.
Yes, Anna, the Mall is officially open. Look at this stream of people. These are the people that have been camping for days, getting their moment to walk up to Buckingham Palace. We've been talking to people here who, as I said, are the coronation campers, and they have said it was totally worth the wait. Let's bring in Nicola and Paula. Nicola and Paula, come over to me, because I want to see all these people streaming in behind us. And you're the coronation campers. You were here overnight. Tell me, was it worth
get somewhere they can see, and clearly the Queen Victoria Memorial is a bit of a block to the main event, which is seeing the royal family in the balcony at Buckingham Palace.
Sprinting down the Mall. You can hear the excitement behind us.
There are whoops, aren't there, Dame Kelly? Absolutely extraordinary for some of these people.
Yes.
The umbrellas aloft, but so keen to get down and get closer to the palace.
Yeah, you can hear the enthusiasm. You know, they're so excited. This is the moment. Remember, you've got all ages there. You've got people running. They've all got their outfits. They're screaming. The flags are flying. The umbrellas are waving around. They're sprinting. They've all got their trainers on, ready for their moment.
There's a lovely moment there where a chap suddenly saw some space had open up in front of him, and he knew he couldn't completely run, but did a very, very fast walk to just get into that bit. Wonderful enthusiasm.
It's like a shriek of excitement when you suddenly realise that you're liberated to have a job.
Yes.
They give Dame Kelly a run for their money today, actually. The speed of that kind of pace. I mean, we know that the ones at the front are the ones who've waited longest because they open it up chronologically. So that front line there know what they're doing. I'm sure a lot of them would have been at the Jubilee last year. They know how to get the top spots, and they will not let anyone get in their way to get there.
They're coming down in their droves. I mean, look, they're just coming, flowing down. I think it's a magical sight. I hope the Queen and King are very happy with the turnout.
It's a brilliant atmosphere, isn't it? They're all so enthusiastic, and we can see families there, some children. We can see most people ditching their umbrellas, actually, just wanting to get to the front.
The umbrella is slowing you down, absolutely. This is such an iconic moment, isn't it, the balcony shot? We've seen it post-war.
Yeah.
We've seen it for weddings, for jubilees, and it is something that the public love to be part of. And presumably the royal family, you know, they have the sense of the importance that the people hold them and the esteem with which the people hold them when they see the crowds. And it's, you know, it's part of a way of, you know, cementing the royal family in the minds of people, isn't it?
No, it really is. That interaction that we've just seen with the military is incredibly important, but also important is this interaction with the public as well. And as you say, Anna, this is soon to be another iconic balcony moment, and that relationship with the public is so important for the monarchy today and as it moves forward.
Well, Alistair Bruce has joined us. This is a day of many parts.
It certainly is.
We've had the procession outwards, we've had the extraordinary service, so religious, so deep felt, and then the military pageant, and now we have the people.
It's really important that this element is given full voice, and they're unbounded now, and they're given the chance to come in and see and witness their king anointed, crowned and enthroned, and return to his palace. And I think that, you know, despite the rain, it really is long to reign over us, and you know, the chance for everyone to get involved in this, and you can still see that the ceremony maintains to the end. You can see below the balcony the salute ready for His Majesty and the Queen when they come out. And yet, you know, when the aircraft fly over, and some are going to be there and some aren't, depending upon the security of the time, it's just going to be celebration, and that's what it's about, Anna.
And just remind us, he comes out, or their Majesties come out, wearing what?
Their Majesties, it's a matter for the King, but their Majesties will come out in their crowns without the other objects of regalia, and then the King and the Queen are free to wave. They'll probably, maybe, come out on their own first, then they'll bring out, I'm sure, the Prince of Wales, Princess of Wales, and the King's grandchildren. And then, you know, maybe the rest of the royal family, the working party of the family, will come out too. But you know, that balcony has seen a great deal of history. The first person there was Queen Victoria, who waved at the troops coming back from the Crimean War. And when you think how extraordinary it is that Europe is again facing the danger of war in that same part of the world. It just gives you a sense that we witness history and we're living it today. This is our story. The coronation, which this year in this country is 1,050 years old, and it's been delivered perfectly again.
King Charles masks lifted for the cameras there. They're waving, obviously trying to say hello to people back home who may know that they have headed in to come here for this historic moment. The first coronation for 70 years, and the people here are here to enjoy it. Kay.
Okay, Joanna Lumley's still with us. Joanna, you were lucky that these poor people got stuck in the rain, but you were lucky enough to be inside.
I know.
The Abbey, the bells still pealing, waiting to see the King in a moment or two.
It's terribly exciting, and to have that vision of the huge mall filled with people, gradually filtering out around the Victoria Memorial, gradually getting closer and closer to the palace, they get a good view of the great balcony. It's so funny how such a small thing can have such an extraordinary potency. The balcony there, we can see it with the red there, and we know that just there they're going to be coming out, and the crowd can acknowledge the King.
We can see that the curtain's twitching, and so we're expecting a moment or two. I was in the palace last week, and they were saying behind there, of course, that is where they open the door, the royal family gather, open the doors, out they come. But it's a building site at the moment. That's why they're doing all the refurbishments. So they had to be very careful, put a temporary floor in and everything.
Oh my Lord.
Now, what about the flight pass? Sadly, it's had to be scaled down.
Well, I can completely understand that, and I hope people do also understand that it's for safety reasons. But helicopters are always very powerful little creatures, and the red arrows are unbeatable. So this is wonderful. It's a sort of a doffing the hat.
Yeah, indeed. So that should happen in just a moment or two. In fact, that's the police helicopter. Yeah, exactly so. And we'll go down to Sarah Jane, who's with the crowds, in just a second. But before we do, people who weren't listening or weren't with us earlier, the highlight for you inside the Abbey.
Just the extraordinary moment, actually, when the Archbishop shouted, "God save the King," and we all shouted, "God save the King," because it was on our orders of service. And
Here he is.
Here he is, they've come out. Listen to that noise.
for the King and Queen looking down the Mall and seeing this extraordinary number of people, and now the first part of the fly past approaches. There will be 6 waves. There will be no fixed wing aircraft due to the conditions, but the first wave will be 3 Juno HT-1 helicopters making their way towards a salute to His Majesty the King. And the second wave, a Wildcat helicopter, flanked by 2 Merlin Mark II helicopters. Wave 3, a Wildcat helicopter Mark I with 2 Apache helicopters, which of course have immense capability on the battlefield. Wave 4, a Wildcat helicopter Mark I with 2 Merlin Mark IV helicopters. And finally, massive, burdensome aircraft, the 3 Chinook helicopters with 1 Puma HC-2. And it'll take a few minutes for them to clear safely out of the way and off to the right and over to North London. And then we expect to see the Red Arrows, who will distribute, like so much of today, red, white and blue. And here they come. Almost hazy out there, but they'll suddenly put the dye into their afterburn and you'll see the red, white and blue salute to the King and Queen. There we go. After the salute in the garden, the salute from the sky, and the salute from the people who've gathered here before Buckingham Palace, a huge assembly of people from all over the world and from across the United Kingdom who are really enjoying this. And look down the Mall. National anthem over the King and Queen waving goodbye as they will now leave the balcony. They've got either side of them the pages of honour who carried the trains of both the King and the Queen. Family members all watching and enjoying this amazing sight. returning into the central room, as it's known. Pages have got a very big job making sure the trains are not trodden on and are lifted, and most of the front of the palace is a building site inside, so there's been a special route made through for the king to return to have lunch, and there are photographs, and for him that's the last we will see of the king and queen for the moment.
Unless the crowd demands them back. I don't know. That's the hope, of course, isn't it? Because that's what happened in the Queen's coronation back in 1953. And in fact, Alistair, she came out later in the evening, didn't she?
Yes, they came out after dinner. Of course, they changed for dinner rather wonderfully, the late Queen. But we'll see what happens. I think that the King will have had a very long day of that, and the Queen also. And, you know, there's a lot of pressure on you to get everything right, all the choreography. And no foot shall slide. A little bit of a sneak through the windows there. But I reckon that's now closed. We'll see what happens. It depends on, as you say, the crowd.
And I asked if there was going to be that Cecil Beaton moment, that famous photograph of the Queen back in 1953. And something like that may appear. We will get photographs, we understand, tomorrow evening. It'll be a time-consuming business to get all of this, because this is for the Royal Archive, isn't it?
Yes, Hugo Bernand has photographed the King on many occasions and the Queen, so there is that rapport, which I think is so essential. And we're hearing the armed forces moving away again. I get really excited about this, as you know, Anna, because they've worked really hard. They got up jolly early. They all came in on trains to Waterloo Station, and this will be the next lot of troops leaving from the front of the palace to make their way back to Waterloo Station and out of London again. It's been a marvellous day. King's coming out again, isn't he?
I think so.
Did it come?
Yep.
Yes.
We're not wrong, Paul.
He's coming. Fantastic.
They're bringing all the pages out again.
Including, of course, Camilla's grandchildren, who are very much involved in this service and the day.
Well, the thing is, if you've got a long robe on like that, Anna, you cannot just walk away. You need help. And I think for the King and Queen who've taken another wave, they need a bit of help to get back off the balcony.
There was a quick about turn from some of the people who started to move up Constitution Hill. As soon as they saw that they were on the balcony again, they were back, stopped, reversed. As soon as there's a wave, there's a cheer.
And as the doors close, Anna, within days, probably within the rest of today, the regalia, including the imperial state crown we saw the King wearing there, what he was invested with in Westminster Abbey, will be returned to the Tower of London, put back into the secure part there and available for everyone to go and see. But they've been given another chance to do what they are symbols to do, and that is to remind a new monarch of their responsibilities, what he is to do, how he is to serve, and he has dedicated himself today.
And Westminster Abbey itself opens again, I think, on Monday. Again, we urge people to go and have a look around that. It is quite extraordinary. You gave us a tour, for which we're very grateful. There are all these palaces and historic buildings that are connected with the royal family, which are really worth a visit. They're educational, they're historic. It shows the longevity of the monarchy in this family, which is something that we've really sensed today.
Well, we've been connected with so much royal history, with biblical history too, in an extraordinary way in which the world has witnessed that the United Kingdom installs its head of state. It seems to have taken, for many people, quite a long time since we saw the late Queen die, but the ceremonies we saw then were in sadness. The thing about a coronation is it's in joy, and that has been witnessed today. And I think, all that magical history, much of which maybe people didn't understand, but if you unwrap it, we have seen him given symbols that are very good guidance to anybody who's in a position of leadership. And I think the King, who spent a lot of time studying what it all means with the guidance of the Archbishop of Canterbury and the Dean of Westminster, both of whom supported him in his preparation, and the Queen's. It's been a huge success today, and I think the Earl Marshal and the Royal Household and the armed forces who delivered this, they've just done their best. I think they want you, Anna.
No, let's wave to them. Let's have everyone a wave. Absolutely, it's lovely. They're all waving. It's absolutely. I still want one of their crowns, I have to say. But anyway, SJ's there. Where is she? Let's go to you. Where are you? There you are.
Anna, I can see you. Hi.
I'm looking for you, SJ. Where are you?
I'm right in the middle. Here I am. I walked up the map.